a historical knowledge of how things happened thousands of years ago, that has nothing to do with your personality. Ravana is present at this very moment. Rama in you is your soul. The entire Ramayana is being enacted in every person. And allow all that to happen in your personality. Om Nilambujasyam Komalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus. He is very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side. He is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. In Bala Kanda, Doha number 177, you are in the process of listening to the story of three great demon brothers. They have practiced intense austerity. Ravana received the boon that he will be invulnerable. No one can kill him except the poor man or monkey. And the boon was granted. Kumbhakarna, who is embodiment of tamas, with a demoniac aspect. He practiced all his austerity for gaining the heavenly world, being the ruler of the world. In his mind, when he started, he used the word Indrasan. Indrasan. Asan is seat. Indra. Indra is the heavenly Lord. So, all through his austerity, he was repeating Indrasan, Indrasan, Indrasan. That's what I want. But when Indra came, rather when Brahma came before him to give boon, he became so excited by Brahma's presence. He said, "Oh Lord, you have come. Give me Nindrasan, Nindrasan." Twist of words. Indra is the heavenly Lord. But Nindra means sleep. Give me the seat of sleep. And then the story has given a more spicing of it. That before Brahma could give boon, gods created a trick. Goddess Saraswati sat on his tongue, twisted it. All these are, when we have told the story, they are allegorical. Goddess Saraswati is the source of your inspiration. When your intellect is pure, and Saraswati allows your tongue to be eloquent in a positive way, and nothing can come out that's wrong. But when mind is filled with negative vasanas, negative impressions, your inspiration becomes twisted and it goes in a wrong way. Instead of asking, "Oh God, give me pure happiness," you ask God, "Give me a lot of happiness." See, the intellect gets twisted. And Boon is given and you don't realize anything wrong with it. In brief, the story is that Kumbhakarna was to go on sleeping 6 months and keep awake for one single day. And that one single day that he kept himself awake was a tremendous terror for the world. He went on devouring people. It's all allegorical, you see. We have already explained that point. Now comes the turn of Vibhishana, who is sattvic personality. Ravana was a rajas embodiment in a negative way. Kumbhakarna, tamas, the mode of inertia. And Vibhishana, the mode of sattva. All the three together maintain this world process. Gaye Vibhishana pasa puni, kaheu putra varamagu, tahi mageu bhagavanta pad, kabal amal anuragu. Brahma, the creator, approached Vibhishana and said, O son, ask the boon of your cherished wish. And Vibhishana asked for, may I have pure, desireless, profound, divine love. Kamal Amal Anurag. In actual literature, may I have immense devotion to the lotus feet of God, where all impurities are absent. And the word used is anurag. May that love go on growing, waxing. When human love grows, it taxes. It doesn't wax. You like something, you love it. But afterwards, you have to protect what you love. You are concerned if what you love moves away from you. You are constantly worried what trick should you play to capture people according to your fascinating desires, and so forth. So therefore, worldly love doesn't have that ever-growing joy, rather ever-growing worries. And then divine love enters your heart. That contrasted from worldly love, it is totally different. The more love that grows, more joyous you are. Worldly love, the more it grows, the more miserable you are. That always understand the moral of all this is not that you should not be in relations and have love. But in order to be spiritual, understand that in all your loving relations, try to be compassionate, generous, broad-hearted, to such an extent that as if you are worshipping God in people, God in all. And even when your relatives or friends and people you communicate with are not nice to you, still be nice to them, knowing that divine sentiment cures negativity in people. People who have negativity, they are already suffering from a headache. They are already restricted in their happiness. For you to revenge upon them, that's a demoniac method of resolving problems. Saintly method, be a source of inspiration, a source of divine grace, to help the person to have the joy of understanding. Sabko sadvati de Bhagwan. O God, give profound understanding to everyone. Just like you feel joy within yourself when you turn to God. Now, same thing you expect or wish for others. You do not evaluate, oh, since I have done so much sadhana, I deserve to have all this joy. But these people, let them go to hell. Then you are not really a sattvic worshipper. So that's that Boon Vibhishana asked. And that's the ideal. And the story will illustrate his character. Tinahi dei bar brahma sidhaye, harshit te apne griha aaye. All these three brothers returned to their homes. Maya tanuja mandodari nama, param sundari nari lalama. Maya Danava, in a storyline, he is the Asuri architect, Rajasic architect with a divine power. Rajasic aspect of Maya. The Maya has become Maya. Danava is Rajasic aspect. Maya Danava. His daughter was the Mandodari. All these writings are very subtle with profound meanings. It has always two types of meaning, simple literal meaning, called saral arth. And divine meaning, called gudha arth. Now, simple meaning behind Mandodari is a description of feminine beauty. The stomach shouldn't be too fat. Shouldn't be like Lord Ganesha. The mystical meaning. She lives with Ravana. But Ravana enjoys all the Rakshasi, demoniac pleasures. But Mandodari doesn't have that appetite. She always suffers from lack of appetite. She goes on always telling Ravana not to do anything wrong, not to do anything demoniac type. And that was the role of Mandodari, and that's why the name is Mandodari. Mand, lacking appetite for rajasic, tamasic enjoyments. Again, coming to mystic psychology, you are fashioned in such a way, the feeling within your heart doesn't become completely polluted, no matter in what situation. So even living with Ravana family, Mandodari doesn't become completely polluted. She survives Ravana and marries Vibhishana. Your feeling survives the dull-wit state of your mind, a distracted state of your mind. Your feeling survives. If you have overcome mala and vikshepa, impurities and distractions, now that feeling marries sattvic state, very pure state of your intellect. Feeling waits. सोई मैं दीन ही रावण ही आनी, हो ही जातु धान पति जानी. Mayadhanava, the father of Mandodari, considered Ravana a very great personality suited to be a match for Mandodari, and with the understanding that he is going to become the lord of demons. The word for demon has been used here as Jatudhan. Meaning behind it, Jatu refers to thwarted, twisted. Dhan refers to dhan, wealth. The real wealth in you is divine wealth, virtuous qualities. But when those virtuous qualities become twisted, in other words, you are moving into a negative way. This point has been discussed in the Gita in the form of Davi Sampat, divine wealth, and demoniac wealth. Just to remind you, Dambha, hypocrisy, Darpa, arrogance, Abhiman, conceit, Krodh, anger, Parushya, bitterness. Bitter words come out of your tongue. So much they bite your tongue. The more your tongue is bitter, the more bitter you become. And Agyan, ignorance. If these negative qualities begin to develop in you, and that process of creating negative qualities is called Jatudhan process. And Ravana is the lord of that type of process. Harshit bhayau nari bhali pai, puni dau bandhu viyahe se jai. Ravana was very pleased to marry Mandodari, and then he had his other two brothers also be married. Kritirkut ek sindhu majhari, vidhi nirmit durgam ati bhari. And in the midst of the ocean, there was a mountain called Trikut, and a great fortress. Ravana acquired that, snatching that island city, from the Lord of Treasures, Kubera. And with the help of Maya Danava, the whole Lanka city was well decked with wonderful palaces and perfectly, in other words, all architectural art was exercised to create a wonderful Lanka city with countless palaces. Now, those who want to know deeper meaning, you have to. Or in the midst of the ocean relates to the ocean of the world process. It's very vast. Trikut relates to triad. Very simple example is your dream. In the ocean of your awareness, how many things your awareness can bring? It's a vast ocean. But it brings you only one little island. And that island has been created by three defects. It's a triple fraud. In your dream, what you think you are, your subject, that's wrong. You remember that you owed some money to someone. In your dream, you paid. On waking, you tell the person, "Didn't I pay you?" He says, "No." All this. You are not the same in your dream. Your understanding of yourself is false. But you don't feel contradicted. You feel quite comfortable. Now, under another great fault, the whole world of your dream is absolutely illusion. How can this big world exist on your little bed? Your blankets, your pillows and your sheets have turned into all that. It's a big illusion. But while dreaming, you don't care that this is the world you live in. And then third type, things that you enjoy in your dream. And you feel so happy. You are eating laddus. Got into a wonderful restaurant. So that's called triputi, triad. The subject is not understood. The world of that you are going to experience, that world is unreal. And the experiences of pleasure and pain are unreal. Used many terms to describe it. Jnata, Jnaya, Jnana. So, the demoniac rule relates to consciousness that has gone into an illusory modification. And that's described as Trikut mountain. And that mountain, Soi Mayadan Avabahuri Savara, Kanakarachit Mani Bhavana Apara. Mayadanava, whom I have already introduced to you, the father of Mandodari, a demoniac architect with immense power of illusion. He created that island with lots of gold and pearls and lots of wealth. Bhogavati jasi ahikula vasa, Amaravati jasi sakra nivasa, Tinate adhik ramya ati banka, Jagabikhyata namate Lanka. Just as scriptures talk about Bhogavati Puri, a city in the regions where mystic snakes abide, called Bhogavati, and the astral heaven that's ruled by Indra, that's called Amaravati or Swarga. Lanka's world was even more attractive than all these sources of joy. And the name Lanka, Lam term relates to blossoming of divine love. Lam is the source of all joy. But Ka twists it, obstructs all this pure happiness. And that Lanka was a source of a healthy state of soul's evolution under Kubera. But Ravana snatched that Lanka from Kubera, the god of treasures. Khai sindhu gabhirati, charihu disi firi aao, kanak kot mani khachit dridha, baranina jai banao. And this whole city is surrounded by deep khai. Khai relates to kind of a trench. That was the old style description of royal palaces. When they had their palaces, they created all around the palace big ditch filled with water. But here, coming to a subtler way to understand, the source of all your troubles is in your subconscious and unconscious. The world of the unconscious is under the grip of Ravana. And being in that Lanka, the unconscious, Ravana is the ignorance and all the ramifications of ignorance together. Ravana dominates over all that is positive. His whole idea is to suppress gods and make them his slaves. Always storyline. But what it simply implies, with that ignorance that is drenched with afflictions, ignorance, egoism, attachment, and so forth, that which exists in your unconscious, that's ruling your whole personality, in such a way that you cannot develop divine virtues. This point has been elaborated in that storyline, like a cartoon type of pictures, fable type of stories. And for general masses, they suffer and suffer, but they don't know how to remove the suffering, because that will require going into Lanka. And between unconscious and conscious, there's a big ocean. Demons have the capacity, if you are in ignorance state, the demons in you are more powerful than the divine in you. So the demons cross over, and they are constantly stopping you from pleasing gods. Whenever you do good karmas and good fasts, they stop your inspiration for worshipping. If you are worshipping, I'm always bringing the storyline, they bring bad stuff, pour into your sacred fire. Hari prerit jahi kalap joi, jatu dhan pati hoi, sur pratapi atul bal, dal samet bas soi. In every cycle of yugas, that's a whole, it's a great period of time, a period of time that covers millions of years. That again is figurative language. You don't have to really go after calculating how long now the Kali Yuga is. People are busy doing that. They find themselves very intelligent. The reality is completely far from that. So, in every Chatur Yuga, Rama's story repeats. Thousands of incarnations of Rama have gone on. And thousands will go on in future. In each Ramayana story, therefore there has been variations. It's a storyline. But this is not for the masses, it gives a good entertainment, and they will go deep into the study. That's a kind of a temptation. For advanced people, aspirants, you have nothing to do with the history. If you want to progress in a spiritual path, a historical knowledge of how things happened thousands of years ago, that has nothing to do with your personality. Ravana is present at this very moment. Rama in you is your soul. The entire Ramayana is being enacted in every person. And allow all that to happen in your personality. Bring your monkeys. Put your monkeys in a row. They call, put your ducks in a row. Put your bears. And overcome gross impurity, mala. Then overcome subtle distractions. Now that will require now the role of Hanuman. Hanuman is faith-based strength that allows the mind that operates ordinarily like a monkey, but when faith touches that mind becomes transformed into immense power. Now your mental process jumps across that gulf and bridges the gulf between the unconscious and the conscious. That's how concentration, meditation, and profound sadhana becomes effective. So all that is implied, and we will go on discussing that. If I enter into that, then we will be deprived of this story. रहे तहाँ निश्चर भट मारे, ते सब सुरन समर संघारे, अब तहाँ रहि शक्र के पेरे, पेरे रक्षक कोटि चपति केरे. Now this is given a little story behind that whole island known as Lanka. Prior to Ravana's capturing it and making his royal city, that Lanka was under the control of Kubera. And Kubera is part of Indra. That's the healthy universal order. When demoniac qualities begin to develop, then that healthy order becomes disturbed. To give you more details, Kubera is god of treasure. And two types of divine spirits operate under his guidance. One set is known as Yakshas. Another set is known as Rakshasas. In the healthy state, these two terms are not negative. They are perfectly in order. Just like when you say someone rascal, it's not negative. I'm joking. The Rakshas term comes from Raksha. Raksha means protecting. Here is again a mystic, economic science. Kubera is the source of all wealth. When you deal with wealth, there are two things involved. How to multiply your wealth. That's done by Yakshas. How to put your money in savings. The savings process is the Yaksha process. And what you have in your hand, how to keep it protected, not be taken away by thieves and snatchers. So money is attended on in two ways, protecting the money and enhancing the money. Enhancement is Yaksha movement, protecting Rakshasa movement. But when Ravana dominates Kubera, when ignorance begins to dominate this universal scheme, both become negative. Yakshas and Rakshasas. And in the storyline, you will see Yakshas play both roles. Many times they are in harmony with gods. Many times become in harmony with demons. So they have on both boats at the same time. 1 foot with gods, 1 foot with demons. That's the Yaksha's role. The Rakshasas, they are sincerely just demons. दस मुख कतहु खबरी असी पाई सेन साज गढ़ kere sijai. When Ravana came to know of that amazing city with all that wealth and all the possibilities, with a vast demoniac army, he attacked Kubera. All the Yakshas that were protecting, they ran away. फिर सब नगर दशानन देखा, गयौ शोच सुख भयौ विशेषा. Having dominated, having captured the city, he went to tour around the city. And he was so pleased to how wonderful city he had obtained. And also with the idea that the city was inaccessible. According to him, no one could enter there. Jehi jas jog baati grih deen hai, sukhi sakal rajani charakin hai. All the demons, he gave them appropriate houses to live in. And he was not satisfied. Ek baar Kubera paradhava, pushpak jaan jeeti lay aava. The very air chariot, Pushpak Viman, the old-time aeroplane that Kubera used with tremendous power. He dominated over Kubera and snatched Pushpak Viman from him. Pushpak Viman relates to 4 aspects of your mind. Man, buddhi, chitta, ahamkar. Mind, intellect, ego, unconscious, all together is a kind of a plane, a mystic plane. If dominated by ignorance, then the entire plane is operating in a negative way. In Mahabharata, it is brought out through Dushta Chatushtaya. Dushta Chatushtaya, wicked 4. Mind becomes wicked, intellect becomes wicked, ego becomes wicked, and unconscious becomes wicked. All these, and then your soul is led in demoniac states, sitting in that Viman. But when you attain enlightenment, Rama sits on that Viman. So that's whole subtle point behind Vimana aspect. Kautuk hi kailas puni, लीन है सिजाई उठाई, मनहु तौली निज बाहुबल, चला बहुत सुख पाई. Once, in the spirit of sport, he lifted up the entire Kailasha mountain, presided by Lord Shiva, Parvati, and all, in a storyline as if they are seated up there with their hilly city up on Kailasha mountain. And Ravana with his 10 heads lifts the whole mountain. In his storyline, Lord Shiva, just like a father does to a baby, brings his foot, puts his foot down on his head. Ravana with 10 heads looks at Shiva and smiles, places the whole Kailasha mountain in its place. Thereby, a subtle feeling that he has told Shiva how strong he is. And Shiva has allowed him to believe that way. That's again the still subtler point is, when you are developing ignorance-based progress, even that progress is permitted by divine within you. The divine stage knows that negatives will not exist. But the negatives, in order that they are terminated, the divine plan allows the negative forces to come together, play their role, because while the negative forces play their role, saintly qualities are awakened in people as the negative forces play their role. So that they have their own purpose. If nobody is going to make you angry, you will never know what willpower is. You become a jellyfish. However, all the negatives that you encounter and you fight with, ultimately the goal is to go to the source of all negative, and that's ignorance. And you destroy it. But when you have destroyed your ignorance, that does not have made the world free of ignorance. Each one has to see the Ramayana operating in every personality. Sukha sampati sutta sen sahai, jaya pratap bala buddhi badai, nit nutan sab badhat jai, jimi pratilabha lobha adhikai. Ravana began to prosper. Pleasures, lot of sukh, happiness, lot of demoniac wealth, sons, great army. And in the demoniac world, lot of praise, lot of glory, lot of display of greatness. And he was not satisfied. Greed never has any limit. It just goes on increasing. Trishnana jirna, craving doesn't decay. With every attainment, his greed became stronger and stronger. Atibal Kumbhakarna asabhrata, yahi kahu nahi bhati pratibhat jag jata. And Kumbhakarna, who was a brother, his brother, was so strong, no one could compete with him. With one little defect. Karai pan so vai satamasa. He drink a lot of liquor. And 6 months he would stay just snoring. I'm adding the snoring word. And when he woke up, only for short duration, all the 3 worlds became terrified. That's again to understand, relating to the general masses who are where they are not completely low in low state, nor they are in a high divine state. General good people, they're not good all the time. Things happen. Kumbhakarna wakes up in them. But fortunately, it wakes up only for a short duration. But even in that short duration, tremendous damage occurs. That's the story of general masses. ज्यों दिद प्रति आहार कर सोई, विश्व बेगी सब चौपट होई. If he were to eat, devour every day without sleeping, think of the negativity in people. If it became constantly alert, the entire world will come chaupat, chaupat. The world will be smashed. समर धीर नहीं जाई बखाना, तही सम अमित वीर बलवाना. And his heroic strength cannot be described. And all his attendants and relatives were immensely powerful. This is the power of ignorance. Varidanad Jetha Sutatasu Bhatamaho Prasama Lika Jasajag Jagajasu. And his eldest son, the name is Meghnad. Another term for Megh is Varid. Varidanad. Cloud. Thundering cloud. But cloud has two types of thunder. Good vasanas, good impressions develop. They're called dharma megh. And the thunder that comes from it is the flashes of intuition. With that flashes come thunder. Dharma megh term is used by Raja Yoga. But Ravana's son is contrary to that dharma megha aspect, is adharma megh. Cloud of negative vasanas, negative subtle desires. Out of that cloud comes terrible destructions. Jahi na hoi ranasan mukha koi, surpura nitahi paravana hoi. He was so powerful that he dominated over the entire heaven. Gods ran away when he presented himself, that gods will simply run helter-skelter. And I will, that's for now.
Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.